Alright, hi, good day. This video is part 3 on the Strongman and His Goods. Alright. Now, I already explained some things in part 1 and part 2, but there's a lot when it comes to what this thing does. Alright. So, there's a part 3. Alright, what the Strongman does is, as I said before, right, they act through you, for you, as you. Alright? But you perceive it as yourself. Now, he defines everything you see. Alright? You look around in the world you're in, you look at the chair, you look at the couch, you look at the wall, you look at your hand. Alright, he defines everything you see. Right? But this information that is given to you, now you look out, the information in which you receive is finite or singular is the best way to put it, right? Because they're not God. Right? So they literally give you one at a time. But you don't notice it, right? Because it's like they're forcing you to live. Right? It's like let's see. It's like you have an individual here, right? And they're like static, existing, right? They take you, right? And they force you to live. So even though it feels as if you're static, it's actually active, right? It's like it's the equivalent of you being off rails, like off of the railings, like when the train goes on, and then them sticking you on the rails, which is their active will, while you perceive it as if you're not on it. Right? So this, you can't see it, but if I start to explain it, you start to understand what it is I'm saying, right? Because you're always seeing it, right? So let me explain it, right? The way in which the Lord made this world is like, say for example, you thought about all the nice stuff, and you could relate it to, like, say, a deck of cards, right? Right? When the devil got the world, he was aware of these deck of cards, right? So he made his own deck of cards. Right? When the strong man makes you see the world, he pulls out one card at a time and gives it to you. Right? But when the Lord made the world, and when you're loose from the strong man, you get to see that there isn't actually a deck of cards, but all of these cards, they hit you all at the same time. All at the same time. And they all, right, make up the whole of life, of existence. The devil, because of his plans for you, he gives you one card at a time. And your life, when you exist and you experience it, is like a finger pointing to look at this, to observe this, to it draws your attention to it. Right? Now you're sitting down and listening to what it is I am saying, but as I said before, right, where is your personality? Right? I spelled this wrong, but yeah, I'm going to shorten it down. Right? You're sitting down listening to me speak, but do you feel like, if you're a dude, do you feel your masculine nature? Right? Do you feel it? If you're a woman, do you feel your feminine nature? No. It's null. It's a void. Because the finger is not making you focus on it. Do you know when they make you focus on it? When you're exercising, when you're around the opposite sex. But what they're doing is they're giving you one card from their false deck. Right? And these cards, when it comes to you, is their demons or the strong man's goods of who you are. Right? But it's false. Alright? Now, what they did is the Lord's deck This world classifies things that feel good or look good or stimulate things greatly as ASMR, right? But this is from the devil's deck. It is a counterfeit of the actuality. Now, ASMR only exists in YouTube videos when you watch it. Right? It only exists for a guy when, say, you're having sex or a girl is giving you oral, all her lips wrap around your penis and all this, and her eyes, and a female figure. That's when it exists. Right? But it's always the finger pointing. Observe this. Right? You look at the lip, hear the sound. It's not always visual, right? But it's also abstract. Alright? Everything in life. Like, think about the greatest ASMR you've ever experienced. Odds are it's probably have to do with sex. When you had really good sex. Right? When you felt her body, the softness of her body, and all this, right? And everything was good. That's probably the greatest ASMR you ever felt. This is why the devil is like, why is sex the best thing? And he's like, it stimulates all the senses. Your hearing, your feeling, your sight, your touch. Because he robs you of all these things when it comes to life. And he gives you his false deck of cards. Right? That's why it isn't, when you compare things in life, it isn't as good as great sex. Because it's missing these ingredients of it. Alright? But why is it that only sex has it? Let me tell you why. Because anyone in this world whom you have interacted with and had any sort of sexual contact with outside of marriage and knowing the devil's kingdom is a fallen angel put in pretend masquerading as an individual. What they do, as I always say, right, they take the color red, right, and they make you see it as yellow. While they interact with you, seeing it as red, or knowing it's red, while they know they're making you see it as yellow. Right? So all sex, they know it to be red. Alright? But you see it as yellow. Good ASMR. Alright? Let's look at what all sex is. Remember Lot when he was in Sodom and Gomorrah, how it grieved him to be in the things in which they were doing. All sex was probably the smallest thing there. And it grieved him so. Why? Because it is derogatory, right? It is disrespectful, right? It is defiling. It is degenerate. It is perverse, highly perverse, highly perverse. Why? Because it only exists to serve these purpose, to do to you. Right? Now the Lord allowed these things to happen. He gave us over to them, so we will make it worse for them in the end. And they have no joy in what it is they are doing to you because they are severely tormented. Right? They can't even see what it is you look like because the whole world has been taken away from them, even though they have been given it, because they have taken away the world from you. You know, the stone in which they wish to rule on you was rolled onto them. All they have is the knowledge of doing what it is they are doing, to who they are doing it to. So there's a sense of reality, and then there's a sense of actuality in which they quote unquote hope, and they know that they have. Alright, but what did you get out of the equation? Let me tell you what I got from all sex. A woman is so beautiful. Right? I know it's derogatory, I know it's degrading, I know it's defiling, and I will never do it. Right? But throughout all this, that the life in which I have lived, right? And it's not like you need to experience this to reach to this conclusion, because the Bible says that the creation was subjected to vanity, futility. Without the devil doing these things to you in the world, you would have the Lord would have given you your partner, and you would have seen them for what they are, and you would have been married beautifully, and you would have been having sex, and you wouldn't even need this to appreciate who she is, because exactly, you see it, right? But for me, what do I see? It's like you appreciate. Not, I don't want to use the word appreciate. You absolutely adore uh, who she is more, because she has desires that needs to be met. Right? And I'm not talking about anything perverted, but I know you understand what it is I'm speaking about. Right? Then this is all you see. Because to the pure, all things are pure. You see what the devil has done? Right? You just have experience with dealing with a vagina is the best way to put it. Right? You will no longer be involved with all those sex. But you're like, it's like a job. And they're asking you if you have experience in the job. And you're like, yeah, you have experience. Right? That's like the only thing in which you gain from it. Right? Second thing that I want to explain is that you don't need to gain experience to have good sex. Right? We are who we are. The Lord made me this way. Right? He made you good. You're not defective. Right? And it's like when that bridge comes to cross, you know how to cross the bridge. You don't need anyone to teach you. You need to have prior experience. It just happens. Right? Because it's who He made you to be. Right? The devil in this world teaches you that you need to have experience, you need to learn, you need to give good sex, because he is the one who gives good sex to you. Right? Bad sex is when the demons of ASMR is not involved. Right? So it's bland. You're going through the motions. Right? That's what bad sex is. That's what bad oral is. ASMR is not there. Right? So yeah. The devil likes to make you think, right, that you needed to experience all the evil in which he has done to you so you can be a better person. If he was not there in the first place, you would have already been a better person. Let's go look at Lot. We're going off topic, but hey, you need to learn. Not Lot, it's Job. Had you wrong, Job. 110. Alright. Now, we're going to read from 6. Now, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came among them. And the Lord said to Satan, "From where do you come?" So Satan answered the Lord and said, I'm thinking about something as I'm reading back. Right, from going to and fro on the earth, and from walking back and forth on it. And the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on the earth, a blameless and upright man, one who fears God and shuns evil?" Right. So Satan answered the Lord and said, "Does Job fear God for nothing?" He's lying, right? Every time he speaks, he lies. The fear in which he is, he lies for the future. Right? He knows it's going to be recorded. And the fear in which he is referring to, that he knows anyone listening to this or reading this will refer to, is fear. You being afraid of something. Right? But the fear in which Job has for God is one of reverence. Right? Does Job fear God for nothing? Have you not made a hedge around him, around his household, and around all that he has on every side? You have blessed the work of his hands, and his possessions have increased in the land. But now stretch out your hand and touch all that he has, and he will surely curse you to your face. Now the devil has already gotten the world. Alright? He knows no one cares what he has to say because he's lying, and he's brutally tormenting mankind and doing whatever it is he wants to them to his heart's content. Alright? So he has a mindset of he gets what he wants, because he already got what he wants. Right? So this is like him mocking God, so to speak. Right? His words carry no weight, and he's just saying, he's mocking him and saying, "Give me Job then. No time for me to mess with Job." Right? His words carry no meaning. He's enjoying himself so much that he's speaking empty words, and like, say you were mocking somebody, yeah, and you're like doing all this, and then you're like, "Well, give me Job then." Right? That's his mindset. Right? And the Lord is like, behold, all that he has is in your power. Only do not lay a hand on his person. As I said before, he is not enjoying this. It's severe torment for what it is he's doing. What he knows he's doing is he's making a legacy for himself. Before he is gone, he will do evil to his heart's content to everyone in whom he can. But he's digging his grave deeper, and he's being tormented deeper as the time goes by. So the Lord is like, alright, behold, all that he has is in your hands, is in your power. Only do not lay a hand on this person. Now look at certain things in this. Right? What did God say about Job? There is none like him on the earth, a blameless and upright man, one who fears God and shuns evil. Job was not a sinner, blameless, innocent of wrongdoing, has never done anything at all, upright, perfect, righteous, one who fears God and shuns evil. This is after they ate the fruit, so the fruit did not give mankind a sinful nature, right? Because Job came after Adam and Eve. Right? What gave them the sinful nature? The devil. The devil said it himself. Job is the way he is because you put a hedge around him, and your hedge around him kept me out of his life. It's literally what it is he's saying. And he put a hedge around him so he can't mess with him, so he can't use him. Right? That's all that he's saying. Now, do you remember the wheat and the tares? Right, his daughters, his sons died because they were tares. They weren't wheat. All the people in Job's life died because they were tares. They weren't wheat. Right? That's why. See, this world is like a, it's like a TV show. As things get done and characters are introduced, and they're like working behind the scenes doing this and doing that, so they get the delight of this, and you get to live in the set while they're working out the set. Is the best way I can put it. Right? So yeah, back to this. The strongman describes everything for you, and that's how he defends his goods. He guards his palace by doing that. But when it is broken, and you get to see the world in which you live in, you get to see you never had a single thought that came from you, you never spoke a single word that came from you, you never used your active will at all to do anything. And you get to see that we are innocent, like Job. We are pure, like Job. We are perfect, like how Noah was, a perfect man in his generation, without the devil doing what it is he's doing. And he's doing this to attack us, but we just perceive it as living in the world, when they're just waiting to interact with us off of the false actors or personas that they have created for themselves in the world. That's all that they're waiting for. Right? Yeah. Have a nice day.